It's the 1st of May. Great to have you with us on this Friday morning, a very different Friday morning, I think. It's the drop down in levels when it comes to the lockdown in South Africa. Remember, the lockdown is still with us, but we've gone down one level, from level 5 to level 4, with a couple of loosened restrictions. But let's get into our regulars, and we'll start off with the question of the day. And you saw yesterday the Basic Education Department as well as the Higher Education Department were giving their plans for the academic year. But we're focusing pretty much so on the Basic Education's proposed plan, and we'd like to hear your views. So what do you think about it? At Morning Live, SABC, and hopefully we'll have some time for calls as well. 011 714 5861.
All right, moving on to our top trending topics. We'll come to that in a moment. Let's first take a look at the stories of the day. Now, starting here, South Africa today marks Workers' Day, but there will be no public celebrations because of the current coronavirus pandemic.
And according to figures released by the Health Ministry last night, the number of confirmed COVID-19 cases in South Africa is 5,647. The number of deaths remain at 103. There has since been 2,073 recoveries, bringing the total of active cases to 3,471.
Transport Minister Fikile Mbalula is expected to hold a virtual briefing later today, and that to outline transport sector COVID-19 lockdown regulations and directives as the country enters into level 4 of the nationwide lockdown.
And those are the numbers that you need. If you need any information, it's a 24-hour hotline, 0800 029 999. Also the WhatsApp service, 0600 123 456. Send a message and you can get some updates from that line.
And daily update on the statistics in the country. So let's start with the Provincial Breakdown. The Western Cape now standing at 2,342 confirmed cases. Gauteng 1,446. KwaZulu-Natal's at 980. Eastern Cape 647. Free State 116. Limpopo 32. Northwest Province 31. Mpumalanga 36. And the Northern Cape standing at 17 confirmed cases.
All right, the tests conducted today, 207,530. Positive is 5,647. The recoveries so far, 2,073. We've recorded 103 deaths, and the closed cases, 2,176. Active cases, 3,471. So that's a really comprehensive look at the numbers that we've been given from the Health Department. In terms of that global picture, confirmed cases as we sit here on the 1st of May, 3 million. 3.2 million, we should say. Those that have recovered are 1 million, and the deaths so far are sitting at 233,000, of which America accounts for almost 64,000 cases. It's quite incredible watching what's happening in America. They're sitting now at 1.09 million infections, so it's a massive number. They're way ahead of any other country, and I must say the next country on that scale is Spain. Their rate of coronavirus cases is at 213,000, so it's quite a big gap there. It really is.
Certainly is, Lee. Let's move on to those trending topics. Hashtag Workers' Day up first. And this, of course, as we in South Africa and the world over, everybody commemorating a Workers' Day. And it is, of course, a public holiday. Not sure that it means much because every day feels like a public holiday pretty much, Leanne.
Yeah, it really does. But this is, it's a day for workers, and it's quite a bit of a strange atmosphere around South Africa, or around the world actually, as the workers of this world are waiting with bated breath to see what their futures hold. And unfortunately, it doesn't look like a good future, because just businesses are struggling at a time like this. Many are not going to reopen. People are being retrenched left, right and center. I mean, we saw, and I'm sure you did as well, I mean, we see all these notices coming out, but it was quite a shock and a real sort of closing a page of history, having a look at what's happening in the magazine industry. And you're seeing the closure now of the likes of Cosmopolitan, House and Leisure, Good Housekeeping. All of those magazines are now closing down, and all the people that are working for them also are not going to have any jobs. So, I mean, it just appears that absolutely no industry is immune from COVID-19. Obviously, the statement that they released saying that they had been struggling for some time, but the reality is that COVID-19 just pushed them over the edge.
And that's the thing, Leanne. I think COVID-19 will see a bloodbath, a great deal of job losses across sectors. And that's the reality. But also, quite apart from that, the whole issue of mechanization and the fourth industrial revolution, that also will have an impact on the number of job losses that we will see beyond this COVID-19 lockdown across the world.
Yeah.
So things are changing, and you have to adapt or die at this point.
Very much so. Very, very, very much so. All right, let's just take a look at the other trending topics. Level 4 regulations, we've spoken to those, and I still think there's a lot of confusion amongst people as to what you can and cannot do. And I mean the nitty-gritty things. I think obviously what's been spoken about is out there, the exercise between 6 and 9 in the morning, a 5K radius. We know about this, that takeaways and restaurants are allowed, but only for delivery. So, those kind of things we've spoken to quite a bit. But there's, those other things, those things that people are still very, very confused about as to what now falls under level 4 regulations. We know people are allowed to leave provinces and come and relocate to another province if they're going back to work or get their children back. And but it is going to be something that we're all going to have to learn as level 4 carries on.
And this is the thing, Leanne, especially with regard to the travel between provinces.
Yeah.
Remember, there are people who took their children for holidays, and those children are now stuck somewhere. They've been desperate to try and get their children back. And people are thinking this is a window, an opportunity to do that, but it would seem as though those regulations may not quite allow for it.
Yeah. All right, well, we'll keep going on there. We don't know when we move to level 4. That's all to be determined as we keep monitoring the COVID situation. Centurion. Now, this trending topic came about by a video, and we've got the video. We'll show it to you. And this is just what's been reported is a queue out in Centurion, in one of the informal settlements in Centurion, of people queuing for food parcels. And this is about Twitter speaking, and these visuals have gone around the world at this point, just to show the desperate situation that many people find themselves in.
Yeah, and I believe, Leanne, some 8,000 people had been queuing since 3 a.m. to receive those food parcels, and it wasn't enough. Not everybody managed to get a parcel, and some still went home empty-handed.
It's quite crazy, it really is, I must say. I mean, to see things like that, wow. Then you understand the desperation of people, and that seriously does hit home. And just that's the reality, unfortunately, is that many people have different levels of frustration and anxiety during this lockdown. But when you are queuing for food like that from the early hours of the morning and you don't even get a food pack, that's desperation.
And just a final thought on this, and I saw a message from someone yesterday who said, can those who distribute food parcels to those in need and those who don't have, please stop taking pictures and blasting that all over, because it strips people of their dignity.
Yeah, it certainly does. Yeah, good message to put out there, it really is.